Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with more ReZero on episode 8. So yeah, in the last episode, we had Subaru continue his fucking his journey of trying to figure out how he can get through these few days without him dying. And when he eventually got there, it turns out Rem died instead. So, and then Ram blamed it on Subaru. Basically hunted him down. Beatrice was there to protect him, but he just went, you know what it is, fuck it, I love yous too much, and then proceeded to jump off a cliff and killed himself. So he's gone back in time, back to the mansion to see if he can do anything different. I guess I guess that's just what this series is. It's just he keeps dying to go back to try and do something different so that everyone can stay alive, essentially. So yeah, that was the last thing we saw, was him cliff diving. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really say. We're just gonna get an episode in and see what we get. So let's go. Okay, episode 8. Right. So obviously he said that there was two things that he needed to focus on in order to get past this whole thing, which was obviously to gain the trust of the Roswell, Rem, and Ram, and to find out how to stop the curse from like that shaman thing that is attacking the mansion. Now I thought that he was talking about, well, I would say that the curse itself, I don't think it's I thought it wasn't attacking the mansion per se, but I guess it is, because if Rem's being attacked by it, then I guess it is attacking the mansion, because I thought originally it was just attacking Subaru, and the thing that was forcing him to keep going back after, like in time after he died, like back to a save point, was part of that curse. Because the fact is, when he goes to tell people about this whole thing of him going back in time, time stops and you see like that curse thing happen. So is that not the same thing then? I guess it's not then. The curse that is killing people is not the same as the curse that is stopping Subaru from trying to tell people about what's happening. Strange. But Subaru does have a shadow attribute, which I kind of... They said that what were they talking about the witch before? That it was like imprisoned or like something like that there was a dragon, a hero, and a sage, right? And I think they said that they imprisoned the witch or something like that. What if he is the witch? Like, what if he is like the vessel that she is encased in? Because they were saying something like, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back into this episode and see what see if I can like find where they're talking about it, because I feel like the fact that he has a shadow attribute and the fact that he's just appeared here kind of gives me some inkling that that's what it could be. there's the whole mana thing. Blah 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 blah. Where did they talk about fucking? Ah, right, here it is. Okay, somewhere around here. Right, so yeah, the jealous witch thing and whatnot, right? Yeah, the jealous witch. Long ago, she devoured the 6 witches who bore the names of the deadly sins. Yeah, so that is obviously there was 7. She's the envy one, right? So you've got, what are the fucking other ones? Like, fucking hell, man. I can't even remember most of these. There's like sloth. Right, so envy, sloth, like. Why can't I'm fucking terrible with these. Envy, sloth. Isn't that one like glutton or something? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to fucking look these up, aren't I? Because I'm a bloody idiot as per usual. 7 deadly sins, please. Not the anime. Alright, oh yeah. Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. Okay. So she devoured them. Drained half the world dry. Is she talking? What does she mean? Drained half the world dry? Is she talking about like the mana of it? Because obviously they were talking about before about spiritual arts, about taking mana from the world around them as opposed to taking it from themselves, using their own mana. So maybe that's what she's talking about there. She's starved for love. She doesn't understand human language. Her body never withers, weakens, or dies. You see what I mean? Like, if it's impossible for Subaru to die in this world, that's the thing, you know? It's like, it said that though she was, right, it said that she was sealed by the powers of a dragon, a hero, and a sage. I know there's the dragon story thing, right, that's involved with the royal family or whatever. That's probably that. A hero, I don't know what that is, and a sage, I don't know what that is either. They were unable to destroy her flesh. Right. It is said that her body is that of a half-elf with silver hair. So what if the witch's soul is sealed away inside of Subaru, right? And her actual body is Emilia. And then it's obviously fate that those two like actually met and connected because of that. I'm wondering that because I think that's the thing, is that the fact that she was sealed away. He smells of the witch, right? And he can't die. If he was to die, then, well, I don't know, because I figured like if Subaru was to like indeed die, then the soul would be released, I guess. You would think that's how it would normally happen. But I guess if it's trapped in there, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe that's just a surefire way. Maybe that's the reason just why Subaru can't it's almost like he's. I think that's what it is. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with that. I think that that the witch was sealed away inside Subaru. He's the vessel because that is the only. Because I think it's too coincidental the fact that she can't wither and die, right? Her body was said to have been that of a half elf with silver hair, right? Which would obviously it's you know, I mean, obviously the connection there to Emilia is, you know, could be like it could be classed as almost like a red herring kind of thing of like, you know, people will be like, oh yeah, it was half elf with silver hair. No, that's just a coincidence. It's obviously not Emilia, right? But the coincidence that this, like, she can't die, and that Subaru was dragged into this could easily have been, you know, depending on the powers of this world, depends on how, like, what they're able to do. Like, if they're able to bring something from another world and use that as the vessel, right? Because I think the combination of Subaru being dragged into the world just out of nowhere, and the fact that the witch can't be killed and that it was sealed away, I feel like that combination there leads me to believe that the witch is actually sealed inside of him, and that's the reason why every time he dies, he goes back to a certain point. Now, by the information I've been given here, I still can't grasp why there's certain points in which he goes back to when he dies. So I don't know, but it's interesting none the least anyway. But that's what I'm going with. That's the theory I'm going with, because I think that is the correct. That's the one that makes the most sense to me out of everything I've got. Out of all the information I've got, that's what makes the most sense. Yeah. So I mean, you know, the combination of those, the fact that he has a shadow attribute as well, that also is in there. You know what I mean? Like, there's all of these sort of these facts that sort of, like, you know, converge into one lead me to believe that that could easily be a possibility. So I'll go with that as the theory, that the witch is being sealed with inside Subaru. Okay, are spiritual arts or spirit arts more powerful than normal magic then? I'm wondering. Because obviously a magic user is somebody who draws mana from themselves, right? And they only have a certain amount of mana. There'll be more mana to get from the like, you know, nature and everything around them, right, than there is inside yourself. So I'm wondering if they're more powerful. Like, you know, obviously maybe not more powerful is the right word, like maybe more efficient, because you can only use so much magic mana that you have in yourself, right? So I don't know, I'm wondering if that's the case. Yeah, Puck and Emilia obviously could tell that he was well, Puck specifically could tell that the guy is confused from his inside to his outside. Like, I think that was implying that Puck could obviously tell the fact that he's putting on a face, because obviously on the on the inside he's like, yeah, he's confused as well about everything that's happening. But even though he knows, I still think subconsciously, like, you would, as a human, you would be completely confused as to what's happening. Like, it's because it's not normal. So, but I could tell that he was obviously putting on a face to try and, you know, to get past it. The thing is that he's overdoing it, and because of that, the fact that he was being overly exertive and enthusiastic was actually making him more suspicious. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not doing it the right way here, Subaru. But yeah. Now, curses have to involve physical contact. I obviously went through the whole thing of, like, well, he's only touched, what, a certain amount of people. There has to be physical contact. So it has to have been someone that he's touched. I don't know if this works in line with my theory of the witch being sealed inside Subaru. I don't know if that counts as physical contact or not. Also, the fact that, like, if the witch is sealed inside somewhere like that, could she even be, like, able to use magic or do anything, really? So even if it was counted as physical contact, would she be able to even make the spell happen if she's sealed away? I don't know. Because if we're going by the fact that it needs to be physical contact, then technically I would say if she's sealed away inside Subaru, then that wouldn't count. So it might be from somebody else. Who has he touched? I'm trying. There's no way I'm going to be able to get this, because the fact that I watch these, like, I only watch 2 episodes a week means that, you know what I mean. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to remember that. But he put it down to, like, saying that the one time I can't even remember what he said. I'm going to have a look. Because yeah, she can detect them before they're activated. Yeah, so physical contact. Yeah, that's the prerequisite. I've only touched villagers at the base of the mountain. Right. And he didn't go to the village that time, so she ended up being the target. Right. Okay, yeah, so he's determined that because he didn't go to the village and she did, that means that the curse must have been applied down there when she was out shopping in the village. So, okay. So yeah, it's somebody who I don't even know if I don't even think we would have seen them, would we? Like, he got bitten, didn't he? He got bitten by something. One of the kids or something, right? Didn't he say that he got bit? Could that be it? Thing is though, they're kids, aren't they? One of them had like a dog or something, right? I think. Fuck. I don't know. I'm interested to know though. Hopefully we'll get it in the next episode, because otherwise, yeah, fucking, I kind of want to know. And finally, does Emilia really know? Now, obviously, that there was that whole thing of her comforting Subaru and whatnot, and like, just say like everything that Subaru's saying, she is like confirming, saying I know. Now that is something that is like, just because she's there saying I know doesn't mean that she knows. That is a sort of comfort thing that like even happens, like that's happened in like my lifetime, like, you know, with kids and stuff like that, when they're incredibly like, you know, if they're in pain and they are hurting, even though like it's something from like a human thing, that's more like empathy based, where you kind of just, you know, I mean, you're trying to comfort somebody, so you're saying to them that you know what they're going through and you know that it hurts, so it's just a comforting technique. So it doesn't really mean that she knows. So I guess it could just be that, or she like subconsciously knows. Again, it could connect to the fact that Emilia is the body of the witch and the soul of the witch lies in Subaru. So it could be a subconscious connection there. That's why she knows and is empathetic towards it. You know, I just think there's so many branches that like sort of connect to Subaru and him being the vessel of the witch. There's so many, you know what I mean? A lot of things point to that. So I'm guessing, I'm going to have to guess is that that's what it is. Until I'm proven wrong, I think that's what it is. Unless, like, there's some other things that come up that maybe, you know, maybe, like, what's the word? I can't fucking hear this. Why is it always that one? Why is that always a word? There's always one, and it fucking infuriates me, man. When something conflicts with that theory, I'm sure that's not the right word, but when something comes along that negates my theory. So unless something like that comes along, in which case I might, you know, change my theory depending on it, or whatever, or just completely proves it wrong, confirms it completely not true, then I'll, you know, until that day, I'll keep thinking that that is the case. So yeah, I'm locking it in. My theory, as of right now, is that the witch is sealed in Subaru as Subaru being the vessel. So yeah. So that is all for episode 8. Thank you everyone for watching. I have a bunch of links in the description to my Discord. So yeah, if you want to get yourself over there, you can, feel free, join the community, get involved. Also, if you want me to like react to a certain show, I urge you to go over there because that's where polls and things start. You kind of want to get ahead of that, so that's there. On Patreon as well. So obviously I've got a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. If that's, if you really want to, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, $5 is early access, so that's $5 a month. For that, you get access to 4 shows of every, or 4 episodes of every show that I have on Patreon every single week. So obviously the general public get 2 episodes of a show every single week. Early access, get them a week earlier, and you get 4 of them. So that's 4 episodes of Psychopaths, 4 episodes of Suzumiya Haruhi, 4 episodes of Tokyo Ghoul, 4 episodes of Code Geass every single week. 16 across the entire week, 64 across the whole month, as opposed to the 32 that the general public get. So for double, you get double for $5 a month. So it's pretty good value. If you're clamoring for more reactions from me, that's where you want to go. $10 a month, that's the full length, unedited. So, if you want to watch my full unedited reactions to all the shows I do, that includes all the shows I just mentioned, plus ReZero, Attack on Titan, and My Hero. Everything I react to gets a full length, so yeah, if you want that, then that's where that is. Exclusive tier, that is $15 a month. That gives you access to another show I'm doing, which is currently Parasite. Also, all OVAs across all shows will go in there, and movies as well. When I start doing that, those will go into there as well. I might start out with Bleach, the new movie that came out, because it's on Netflix already, so I might start with that very soon. Yeah, $50 a month. That is elite tier. So for that, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It'll go to the back of the list. I think there's about 7 in the backlog, so it might take me a while to get round to it. But if you want to jump the list and jump to the very front, then you want to get God tier. So that will give you a choice of a show, but it will be reacted to next. So yeah, the only rules across those last 2 tiers are that it must be a show that I've never seen before, and it must be a show that has 150 episodes or less, and it's also cumulative across all of those tiers. So obviously, with my Patreon being a pay monthly basis, if you pay $100 for the first month, get your show on there, then you pay $100 again for the second month, you get another choice, and then third month, third choice, fourth month, fourth choice, so on and so forth. You get the idea. So that was all. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.